Hey guys, welcome back to Cam's Corner 2.0. I'm your host, Camden Riviere, and we're back for part 2 of our tactics discussion on defending chases. Now, last week we talked about defending chases last gallery and better. Today, we're going to talk about defending chases that are worse than last gallery. And what that means is that we're talking about chases that have opened up these galleries for your opponent to attack. Now, before we talked about serving and how we could allow ourselves to be a little bit looser, a little bit kind of more free with our serves. We have more options because our opponents couldn't attack the galleries, but now they can. So our chase defense starts with our serve. If we serve properly, we increase our likelihood of winning that chase tenfold. And by doing that, what I mean is that we need to hit a serve that's going to make it as hard as possible for your opponents to chip it into the galleries, but that also puts us in a more advantageous place with their return. Just like we talked about last week, the same way they can attack the galleries, we can as well. So if we can get them to return over to this forehand for right-handers corner, that opens up the hazard galleries for us to attack to win this chase. So some different serves that you can look at hitting here are railroads, drags, anything really that's going to hug this wall. And one of the things to think about with that is that the higher the ball goes on the penthouse, the further off of the penthouse it's going to come, angle-wise, because we're creating a steep angle onto the roof, and it's going to follow that angle when it comes off of the roof. Whereas if we can do a straight line angle, something that runs more on the bottom part of the penthouse, it's going to come off at that straighter line, hugging in on that wall a little bit more, and making it harder for your opponents to access those galleries. So that's step one. Okay, step one is we're going to try and find a serve in that range. Once we're in that rally, though, nothing has really changed. They can still hit their galleries to win the point. You can still hit the hazard galleries to win the point. So what we need to do is really play a little chess here. We need to work our opponent in a way that creates opportunity for us, limits it for them, without taking huge risks. And one of the ways that we can do that is, yet again, attacking the tambour, or looking to put that ball back in the return of serve corner, not necessarily in the galleries, but just in that half of the court. And what that means is that we're talking about, yet again, our line and length. You're going to hear this a lot from me, line and length, because our line and length are what allow us to stay in the rally. That means that we can play to the return of serve corner, even on a difficult ball, and not aim at the galleries so that we accidentally pull it onto the roof. Instead, we can aim super deep with our line, right? More through the middle of the court, so that even if we overhit, we're overhitting into the back wall, but we're still placing that ball in the tougher half of the court for your opponent to chip the gallery. By that same notion, we can go down the line with this ball, and we can focus on our clearance over the net to make sure that we don't make a stupid error and that we don't put the ball in the penthouse there, increasing the likelihood of the ball hitting or just missing the tambour and making it hard for your opponent to read it, right? So both of those options are not necessarily winners. They're not great shots, but they're shots that are in no way going to put us behind in the rally. And then, by circumstance, may result in a weak shot coming back from your opponent, which you can then look to be aggressive towards the base of the tambour or the hazard galleries. The biggest thing I can say is don't focus so much on getting that ball to the gallery side of the court. You're making an assumption that your opponent can hit the gallery every single time that ball goes towards the grill corner, and that's just not true. If you hit a ball with good length or with a good line into that corner, it's still an effective shot, and it still is going to give you a good chance to win the point.